that little woman reached in her pocket and pulled out a fresh hen's egg, as if to say, as long as we are creative, as long as we can provide for ourselves not only physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. I mean, what can you do? What could you say? I mean, the queen said, yes, that really was a mighty debate. I understand that. Now, back in the village, you know what happens. As soon as the king and the warriors left, everybody crowded around the little old lady. They were happy, but they wanted to know what in the world did she do? What did she do? They said, what did you do? She turned around, she said, I don't know. That there king picked up his hands and slapped me. I said, yeah, and if you do. And then tried to punch both my eyes out with his two fingers. I blocked him with my one. Then he pulled out his lunch, and I pulled out mine. There are two sides to every story. And I would like to tell you how glad I am to be here. I'm glad to be here because and I would like to thank everyone for the challenge of being the last speaker. I'm the last thing that I looked at that and I said, now I know conferences. People are usually ready to go home, so I applaud you for being here. When we talk about service strategies, we have a word that has been reborn and resurrected, and that word is customer service. For a long time, we sort of felt customers were people that went into the store, bought something, and walked out. And if they bought, fine. If they didn't, there was something we needed to do. We all needed to smile. There used to be somebody that said, well, I know what customer service is. The customer's always right. And they all, look, it's a whole new day now, isn't it? You have had people in front of you in the last couple of years that you never thought that you would have in front of you. Am I right? Okay, come on, you can speak. The whole face of your patron has changed and is going to change even more. And what is required is we cannot fix people. Now, my grandma, Mama Nada, was 108 years old when she passed. And Mama Nada was the smartest woman I knew, and she could not read. But she pushed every one of her little berries. She used to call us all berries because we were all different shades. Red berries, black berries, yellow berries. She had us all appreciate the value of education. Now, you won't find that a lot in some communities. You won't find that. But that's okay. We still have to have a commitment to being the bearers of the knowledge of the word. I call you all the libraries. You know, I'm creative. I was upstairs. I was trying to determine what would I call you? Because, you know, you all are very linear. You know that, right? The book is over there. Go get it. I mean, sometimes you come into the library, some of you don't smile a lot. You know what I mean? Because you're serious. The data does not smile back. I determined, I have a word for you. You are the keepers of the word. And so one wonderful thing about my friends that are librarians is they will find information for you in 4 or 5 different ways. You can find it on the web. Here's a reference. Here's another book. There was an article that came out, a periodical. They can find it. It's almost like they're just happy to find something for you. And I don't know if you're like that with your friends, but it's a valuable tool. A lot of people think that you will be obsolete. Did you know that? I mean, everyday people. I'm not talking about inside people. So I'm going to give you a charge when we talk about service strategies. You have got to convince people, even though you know the value of what you do, you have every day got to realize that you represent the face of knowledge. You represent to people to everyday people, and you don't know who that person is that comes to that door. You represent the leadership of the knowledge. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. You were transformational leaders before transformational leadership became a word. As a young woman, a young African-American woman in my community, I remember Miss Thigpen, Miss Nellie Thigpen. She lived in the community, and she had a presence about her as a librarian that just made, even Betty Ann was my friend, so we would come over, but when you got in, there was a certain atmosphere of being open to learning. You know, you represent so much just by the word library. And you don't, and you may not know that. You may not know who's watching you.